like to wear things that have meaning, that are reminders, right? In a world of distraction, it's a good thing to have some fierce reminders, something that will shake you up. So this is meant to jar us awake and to really make us think about self-preservation, and also understanding that being very clear is probably going to be the really only thing that helps you to thrive, with being very intentional, about your life. This is some medicine to make us have a reality check about the urgency of prioritizing self-care, the urgency of critical thinking, so that we don't allow ourselves to continually spend the majority of our lives being paid only in attention, but not in tangible. Hit the subscribe button and share this video as I hold space for you to find your sweet spot of self-care, peaceful food, and personal fitness. Greetings, this is Body-Culinary. And so in a previous video, I touched on why feeling royal is medicine. So we need lots of medicine, just like we have all kinds of fruits and vegetables giving us different nutrients. Well, this particular medicine is a bitter, and most of us don't like bitters. But the bitters are the blood cleaners. The bitters kill the parasites and the microbes inside the body. Bitters will cleanse the liver. Bitters will quite often create an environment where bugs and parasites and things don't like to hang out in your body. Bitters are quite often the most healing foods, on the planet. They're not sweet. A lot of the greens and the wheatgrasses and the sour things that clean our bloodstream, that our organs and the kidney, the liver, and the spleen are bitter and sour. And so I have a really, really important piece of medicine on right here. And it's inspired by a beautiful, beautiful woman named Salkis Re, prolific artist. Her artwork will make your jaw drop. But in particular, her artwork has a purpose, and it is extremely healing for Esteem. Definitely healing for a Black woman. I dare say any woman of any culture could look at the paintings that she paints of little girls and feel a way, and it elicits something inside, about the preciousness and the protectiveness, if there's such a thing, of young women and girls. It will just speak to your soul. You'll get it if you look at any of her artwork. So please check her artwork out. So this is a piece inspired by her because she has something that she calls the ugly girl philosophy. Now, most people, the average person will be triggered by that and like, why would you call yourself ugly? If you're going to take that time to, obviously bouffant your hair and all that detail and the earrings and take care of your health and put a flower in your hair, why would you call yourself ugly? So now keep in mind this healing message. This can actually apply to any woman or any person that's still put upon. This is it's really some potent medicine, but definitely I can say as a chocolate sun-kissed Black, like the soil, a Black woman, and the collective experience is very, very important to self-esteem. So if royal was medicine, how is ugly medicine? Here's why ugly is medicine. Now let's take a minute and think of, let's just be honest, and let's think of the images, not the exceptions, but the overall images that we see of Black women in the media. Quite often she's not held in a position of esteem. If anything, even when we get roles, quite often it is the seductress or who someone is cheating out, to be with. She's a sex kitten, a video vixen. She's not often held in esteem, dignity, or respect. In current social media, we can see Black women being beaten up. I've seen the Black grandmother kicked in the face on the train, beat down, with other people holding the cell phone, watching, no one stepping in, anywhere, no one stepping in to protect this woman or to pull this person off of the young woman that was beaten up. And so, you know, when different things happen, we go missing. No one's overall coming really to check for us. Well, I've seen other, and this is what it is. You can let me know what you think in the comments. And let me just say, this conversation is not meant to be one for us to relegate and to stay in victimhood. But just go with me for a moment here. So if we just look around the world at the rape, the clitoridectomies, if we look at the rates of STDs, and you know, the image of black women usually overall is either as an entertainer and a video vixen, you know, for everyone's gaze and entertainment, or our buttocks are made, they're fetishized, and sexual prowess is, you know, our sexual abilities, you know, without any regard for our mental, emotional health, is usually what's thrown out there in the front. Usually if we're in positions of, you know, conservative political power, you don't see women wearing their hair like it comes out of our head. It just is what it is. In the world of fitness and fitness competitions, I don't know if I ever saw anyone wear their own natural hair. In fact, I saw a gorgeous African woman where she put a wig on in the competition. Physique and everything was banging, and then put a straight wig on during the competition. So you're being judged. Actually, these things cost more money. You don't really make any money in a fitness competition. You know, it's like a muscle beauty pageant. And so, you know, if we look at the tangibles, right, at the end of the day, how we're treated when we're old, or when we gain weight, or after we have children, as we mature, we usually have, like in popular media, and as we see in the world, on the world stage, there's a short window of time when we're maybe from right around into early teens, maybe through our 20s, where we're valued, and that's only if we provide something to look at, some type of entertainment, or if we're fetishized as a sexual object. Those rare exceptions that are deemed as something that is worthy and appealing and attractive are women that are extremely well preserved, and that's because they put time into preserving themselves. A lot of work, but it's not even 1%. You don't see someone like a Shirley Chisholm, you know, who ran for president. You know, no one pays a mind. Maybe people might consider her ugly duckling, you know, or maybe you'll be, you know, the pleasant butt of someone's joke if you're a big mama in a comedy, or, you know, we're just made fun of. If anything, if you show strength or any kind of intellect, you'll be like, you usually have to be considered non-threatening. You have to be overweight and jolly, able to get along. But if you're looking super healthy and svelte and cut up and whatever, you don't normally see that. That's an exception to the rule. So in terms of this ugly is a form of protection. Why? Because words, we think in words and pictures, and words cast spells, not in an esoteric way, but, you know, how we feel about ourselves, and concepts and ideas about ourselves that play out in low esteem showing up on the tangible scene in terms of putting ourselves in harm's way, and also basically folks not really giving it a second thought to violate us. If we look at the rates of molestation within the diasporan, the Afro and Black diasporan communities, as the majority of women, you know, let me know what you think in the comments. So here's where this can be very, very helpful, especially for young women. What this does, it's like something that keeps you aware and present, so that when folks come giving you false praise but don't have good meaning and intentions, right? For example, for my nieces out there, Those men that would come and stroke your ego and make you feel good with words, but really haven't demonstrated a level of responsibility in their own life with their finances, with their health, with their genitals, and so on. So knowing the ugly behavior that you can be and will likely be on the receiving end of, going down and to child support court is ugly. Domestic violence is ugly. Being lied to is ugly. Being cheated on is ugly. To be passed over is ugly. To be put on the shelf after age 25 or 30 or 35, it's ugly. It's ugly behavior, and so that's what we see the majority of the time, if we're honest, on the world stage and even within our own communities. So ugly is a reminder to take care of yourself, because if you don't, you will receive ugly behavior. It's very likely if you don't value yourself. So when I just taught, it goes beyond aesthetics, because when you really feel royal, we can say that we love ourselves. But if we're really honest and we were to listen to the way that we talk to ourselves, pretty mean, and put ourselves down, the very act of putting ourselves in harm's way when it comes to our sexual health, our physical health, our financial health, risking single motherhood, which can make it could end up in a struggle for the child and for the mother, and so much stress without thinking and planning. Not making single moms anything wrong, but not giving that kind of care and consideration. That's ugly behavior, because the ending result is very, very ugly. All of that stress. I can think of a peer right now. Oh my gosh, phenomenal mother, very, very talented, very successful. But the amount of stress that we experience causes people to overeat, is a catalyst for people to overeat and to chip away at our vitality and our beauty, which is very physical. So the way we're feeling about ourselves, if it's not showing up in a protection of yourself, and a planning for yourself, and a securing of yourself, and investing the time, this would be a great course. I don't think there's any incentive to offer it in a school, but think of putting yourself through a course of learning how to vet people. Right? At one time I didn't know what vetting was, but for the young women out there, all my nieces out there, learning basically how to understand when you're being played, pimped, manipulated for money. I don't care if it's a company trying to get you to buy products, or somebody trying to just extract something from you without any care, regard for your mental, emotional well-being, your financial well-being, your overall well-being. That's ugly behavior. So this is a reminder that ugly is a reality in life, and it is the way that many people are treated, that women are treated, and definitely black women are treated in the world. And we can just say people that don't value themselves. So it's not just us, but it's people that don't value themselves, don't stand up for themselves, not just with chatter, but don't put healthy boundaries in place. The repercussions are ugly and long-standing and will affect the rest of your life. So this is a lovely charm. I like to wear things that have meaning, that are reminders, right? In a world of distraction, it's a good thing to have some fierce reminders, something that will shake you up to really yank you from putting garbage into your mouth, because of later on that can end you up with diabetes type 2. So a lot of our behaviors are self-sabotaging and self-destructive behaviors. It's almost like we're in a kind of hypnosis. There's a disassociation. There's a cognitive dissonance. Like we're not even present with the damage that we're doing to our body. So rather than making it wrong, I invite folks, especially young women, to have a healthy curiosity about why we put ourselves in harm's way, why we would overeat to a point of deformity, of stretching out the body, of aging the body as if it's entertainment. Where did these thoughts come from? That abusing our bodies and compromising our motor skills and our brain is fun and it's entertainment. That's insidious, and that's really ugly. and the results are come up on a tangible level. They will show up in your health. They'll show up in how you're treated. So this is meant to jar us awake and to really make us think, not to be a victim, not to hate other folks, to take anything away from other folks, but to be clear about self-preservation, and also understanding that being very clear is probably going to be the really only thing that helps you to thrive, with being very intentional, about your life. And I'm very appreciative of the artists that inspire this, of her artwork, of us being able to visually see that innocence and that beauty before it has been tampered with. So it's like a remembrance and a recalibration back to who we really are. So for many of us that may have lost that ignorance, or some of us innocence, or some of us that may feel jaded, this is some medicine to make us have a reality check about the urgency of prioritizing self-care, the urgency of critical thinking, so that we don't allow ourselves to continually spend the majority of our lives being paid only in attention, but not in tangible protection, care, where the actions meet all the compliments and the ego stroking, where folks are willing to invest and protect you, but that has to come first. This is a reminder to respect and protect yourself first. It is so it's critical. It's critical. So ugly is definitely it's a medicine. It's a reality check. It's a reality check. Your health and your beauty and your vitality is so precious. You can really squander it with people who haven't demonstrated the maturity and the foresight or the common sense to protect and cherish it. Those that just want to use it. So this will keep you awake, because they're biting. It seems harsh. It seems harsh, but the reality is, and just look at the numbers. Look at the numbers and the stats on the health, the mental and emotional health of women and black women. Look at that. Let's look around the community if we're honest, and our quietness. Now, if this does not apply to you, then toss it in the garbage if it has no value. But I'm here to share my simple insight that ugly is a medicine, not to be confused with bitterness, but a clarity. An ounce of clarity is worth 10 tons of having to clean up and trying to repair afterwards. So it's a reminder to keep your head on straight and not to be wooed to waste all the time and energy you put into getting ready for a dance or a scholarship, or you should be somewhere taking care of your business and you're with somebody trifling because the need for attention and for validation, totally illogical, but trumps everything else, and have you squander so much work that you have done. So I think you get it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Again, this is inspired by artist Salkis Re. Prolific. Check her out. She's good medicine. This is medicine for the day. Create a great day.